Anatomía de Grey.
Well, first of all, pleasure to meet you, and I think for Fox International, we have territories all over the world, so we probably want to update some of the audience as to what happened last season. If you can update us, the closing episode.
In the closing episode, Izzy Stevens is sort of on death's door with a strong bout of cancer, and George O'Malley has been lost, and we don't know where he is. At the same time, there's a patient who's come in who's extremely disfigured, who's fighting for his life, and that's sort of how we end the season.
You're going to forget about some nuptials?
Oh, right, there's that. We got married. Derek Shepherd and Meredith Grey decided to put their vows on a Post-it, and that was what they were going to use to honor their relationship and their basically a marriage, which is unorthodox, but very appropriate for their relationship.
And it works for those characters. So, what is the biggest struggle, I presume, this season? For you as a character, is this pending merger, the war of the merger, and perhaps jobs being on the chopping block?
I think it's the way in which the hospital is run is Derek Shepherd's biggest beef. He feels he can do a better job than what the chief is doing, and that the chief is going down the wrong road. Out of obligation to the chief, he allows him insight on what the board is saying to my character Derek, and gives him the opportunity to change his ways, if you will.
Do you feel that that kind of friction is going to impact the relationship, the new marriage?
Yet to be seen. I don't know where they're going to take that. I don't know what she's got in store for that. I know that there are some dynamics because of Meredith's relationship to the chief that may affect our relationship, Derek, Meredith.
Well, what changes can you give us any sneak peeks into what we can expect this season?
A lot of new characters coming in. There's a new heart specialist coming in. There are people leaving.
There are people leaving. Some old favorites leaving?
Some old favorites and some new favorites.
Really?
So there's a big turnover. There's a big turnover and downsizing in the hospital.
How do you feel about that in terms of the show and its direction?
Well, I think the show is going in a new direction that's certainly fresh and evolving, and I like to see that.
Do you relate to this character at all, Mr. McDreamy, Dr. McDreamy?
Oh, sure, I play him. I have to relate to him, absolutely. I mean, my thing is I really want him to be, he has a really good bedside manner, and that he's very sympathetic and empathetic to his patients, and very strict with the doctors that he works with, because after all, it is a teaching hospital.
Okay. So any, other than people leaving and coming, any other surprises you can help us out with?
You know what? They really don't inform us on what's going on. So I'm as surprised as anybody.
What do you think the biggest struggle and has probably been the most formative issue in terms of the character, things that have happened to him? What do you think? Is there any one particular incident or backstory that has shaped Derek?
I'm not sure. No, I think the biggest dynamics was the back and forth with Meredith. I think that's been the biggest thing that's been the hardest to continue to keep fresh. And now that they're together, I think it's going to make a big difference for the show.
So they can focus on some other things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's just like if you were in that relationship, you would have left a long time ago.
And then finally, the death or absence of George, how is that impacting everyone?
You know, we knew he wanted to leave at the end of the season, that he was no longer happy on the show, and that, you know, he has since gone on to do a play that's doing quite well here. And I think he's very happy doing that, and it's good to see him happy.
Great. All right, well, they've wrapped us.
Thank you.